I rather enjoy telling the truth about people. It sucks that I have to, but honestly, exposing the truth is important. Carissa Ipsen, she's an example of one of the many female drug dealers that was down on Pearl Street and also at the Boulder Public Library. She's also a meth addict. There's a lot of them. A lot of women get addicted to meth real quick. It doesn't take much. Now, Chris Ibsen, I was always good to her, and, well, I was good to everybody. But then there's the whole you need to man up thing. And Chris Ibsen is very, very sexist in that way. Now, while a lot of people want to pretend that I was in love with Natalie and obsessed with Natalie, no, 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 no. I was sick of being treated like shit. I was sick of being harassed and threatened and assaulted. Now, of course, as a homeless person, going to the police is a last ditch effort. It is an extreme situation if you are going to the police. Because you already know that they're not going to do anything, not unless you have somebody in a house who gives a shit to go in with you. Otherwise, they're going to blow you off. But that person in the house also has to be aware of the situation and be able to speak up. There are many people who went in with me not knowing the situation. The reason they went in with me is because they knew me. They knew me as an honest man. They knew me as somebody who helped out others. They knew me as somebody who told the truth. They knew me as the guy who walked drunk people to the warming centers and passed out blankets so people wouldn't freeze to death. People knew me as Starbucks Sean. One of the biggest nuisances of being Starbucks Sean is that after you help people, they want to show up and smoke their weed with you and bug you to smoke their weed over and over and over again. I don't want to smoke your weed. Now, with Chris Epps, she lost her penis. I don't mean as in she physically had her own penis and then it fell off at the supermarket, or she misplaced it in her living room. What I'm referring to is this is the third time, fourth time in recent memory where she's whining and pining because her significant other left her, or the person that she treated like crap because she got all fucked up on meth left her, got sick of her shit, and went, I'm gone. I'm not coming back. Most of the women on my Facebook that I know in person do this often. It's okay for a woman to whine and pine because her significant penis left. And that's what it comes down to. Women are allowed to want sex, they're allowed to enjoy sex. Meanwhile, these very same women are complaining about how men are pigs, about how men just objectionalize women, and so on and so forth. They post up all these half naked pictures, Jason Momoa and, well, firefighters, with little captions that say they wish that their house would burn down. That's not objectionalizing men. How is that okay? Meanwhile, the same women who are spouting all of this crap, who are posting all of this crap, are the same ones complaining about men doing it. Meanwhile, I ended up with another person who made an account specifically just to send me a friend request this morning. Figured I'd bring that up. Now, Chris Ipsen complaining about how her penis left. This is not the same penis as the last time, and it's not the same penis as the one before. Now, between a man who is good to her and treats her like a human being, and the one who's sticking his dick in her, most of the time a woman is going to choose the penis. Even if it's abusive, even if it is attached to a raging alcoholic or a meth addict, that's what they're going to choose. Now, this obviously is not in every single case, but it is quite prevalent. A lot of these people knew what was going on, but they didn't say anything. They knew who I was before all of this, and they didn't say anything. It's somehow okay, isn't it? It's okay for a woman to be this way. We got these feminazi groups wanting to say that all men are pigs. All men want is one thing. Meanwhile, a woman would throw away a 20-year friendship over a penis she found last week. And when he ditches her next week, she's going to whine and pine over it. That's the difference between what I'm doing and what Carissa is doing. She's whining and pining over a friggin' penis. All right, get over it. That's something you can get over. Just like Natalie Bollinger, her and I not being friends because of the situation in Virginia. That is something I could get over. I drove 1,700 miles away. I blocked her. I blocked her sister. I blocked Maddie Boa. And I drove 1,700 miles away. That's devotion to getting away from that situation. Chris Ipsen does the whole sexist feminist crap. You need to grow a pair. Well, you know what? I say that to people now too. You need to grow a pair. Grow a pair of what? It doesn't matter. It's the same as the you need to man up crap. It's sexism. It is blatant sexism. Now, meanwhile, Chris Ipsen is a black woman. Well, kind of. I mean, if you've met anybody from Africa, from actual Africa, from, well, South Africa, or, and I'm not talking about the white South African racist assholes that come through on harvest every year in Chapel, Nebraska, but actual native Africans or indigenous Africans. If you look at many of the Islamic nations in Africa, especially the northern nations, those are not really indigenous Africans. Those are, well, they're mutts, like we are. Americans, for the most part, are mutts. Now, Carissa is one of those people who I was always good to. I was really always good to everybody down there. But it's okay for her to whine and pine. And mind you, this is going on a month of her whining and pining over losing her penis. Over a month that she's been whining and pining over a vaginal insert. I mean, really, that's what it amounts to. She doesn't want to be alone. She's feeling lonely, she's feeling depressed, and she wants to whine about this dude who obviously doesn't want a goddamn thing to do with her anymore. He told her he was done and he left, and she is now attempting to stalk him down. This is not okay. He's done. When a man is done, leave him the fuck alone. Leave him alone. Don't go around to all of your friends and all of his friends trying to get him back because you miss him and you want that. No, he's done. Leave him alone. Stop stalking him. What's the difference between my situation and Chris's? I left. I left. I didn't want to have any more complications because I knew the risks. Now, I had a piece of paper from the Chesapeake Hospital, which, by the way, when I was supposedly arrested in Virginia, I wasn't arrested, I was taken to the hospital. This hospital right here, matter of fact, this is my release paperwork from the hospital. They're required by law to give this to you when you leave the hospital, something that Candace Bondurant failed to provide. Now, Candace Bondurant obviously is not a big major part of this part of the story, is she? No. What this comes down to is blatant sexism. How it is magically okay for you, but not for others. How you are literally whining and pining because you're not getting your gina touched. But then I'm being abused because someone wanted to pretend that I wanted to touch her gina. And in reality, Natalie never claimed I tried to touch her gina. She never claimed that I wanted to. She just lied and said that I stalked her. Meanwhile, we got people like Carissa who is stalking. Most of the women that I know can't stand women. Most of the women I know say things like bitches be crazy, or I don't have any female friends because they're crazy. These are women who tell me these things. Do you know why I pretend that all women are lesbians? Because I don't want to deal with shit like this from people like Chris. And you never know when a woman is going to fucking flip shit like this, especially when they're on drugs. Now, maybe Carissa is sober now. Maybe that penis is her crutch. But this kind of behavior is not acceptable. Just like it was not acceptable for Natalie Marie Bollinger and Alicia Michelle Bollinger and Maddie Boa to do the shit that they did. Okay, I get it. You didn't get what the fuck you wanted. I get it. Between finding out what was going on and going out of your way to make sure that an innocent man was fucking harmed over bullshit that you fucking lied about, yeah, it's completely different from Carissa's situation. I get that Natalie thought she was in love with me. I get that. I understand that. I get that her and her sister were fighting over some boy in Virginia. I don't care who that boy was. Now, maybe it was me. I mean, obviously, both of those girls were extremely competitive with one another. But then Natalie was not really a competitive person as far as that went. She would always let her sister win. Always. People want to pretend that this whole situation happened because some underage girl wouldn't touch my penis. Natalie was not underage, and I was not interested in her touching my penis. But then you pretend that, and magically it justifies all of the crimes against me. Well, it doesn't justify it. Those things are wrong. They are wrong, regardless of your gender. But then we've got the bias situation we've got to deal with. We're expected to feel sorry for a woman. We are expected to coddle her when her penis gets sick of her fucking batshit goddamn crazy bullshit and leaves. Men get sick and fucking tired of being verbally abused. Men get sick and tired of being physically abused. And we get sick and tired of the fact that we can't do a goddamn thing about it except leave. And even then, we have to deal with fucking psychos who won't let it go. All right, you're not getting your dick anymore. That doesn't make it okay to fucking stalk the man. If you're gonna whine and pine about a penis and then tell me I gotta let stuff go, no, you need to let it the fuck go. Socially acceptable. Kind of like women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers than men, but men are a lot more likely to be convicted. Police don't give a holy fucking goddamn. Here in Nebraska, for example, my roommate in chapel, there are many occasions where his ex came over, was literally stalking him, was throwing things at him and screaming at him and making a big, huge, giant goddamn mess out of his emotions and his living conditions. When it's his house, he should feel safe and secure in telling someone to leave and having them do so. It's his place. But he has to be afraid. He has to be afraid that if he calls the cops, they're going to arrest him because he has a penis. That's because here in Nebraska, everything is a penis's fault. Just like most places in the United States, we are expected to feel sorry for a vagina. I mean, literally, that's what it comes down to. It doesn't come down to whether or not the person is nuttier than squirrel turds or violent. It comes down to which one has the vagina. That's why it's important, if you're a man, to record every single situation. You have to record every minute of your day because you never know when some psycho hose beast is going to pull some crazy wingnut goddamn bullshit. A woman is allowed to beat on a man. A woman is allowed to stalk a man. And a man has to be afraid to turn her in. Now, if you are able to successfully turn her in, you get the you're a pussy treatment. Oh, you called the cops? Oh, you got beat up by a girl? No matter what, we can't fucking win. You ever stop to think that maybe we get sick of being fucking victimized? You think maybe we get sick and tired of taking the abuse? Meanwhile, you can just pretend that you were abused, and some innocent dude ends up with bogus charges and he's fucked. He's not allowed to show evidence of a goddamn thing because the police want to protect the woman because she has a vagina. Fine, you have a vagina. Fine, we get that. You have a vagina. Carissa Ibsen is twice my size. I am physically disabled. If she decided that she wanted to assault me, there is not a goddamn thing I could do to defend myself. I would just have to take the abuse. If she beats on me for 20 minutes and I push her to get her off of me, I'm going to fucking jail, not her. If she beats on me for 20 minutes and then gets exhausted and decides to call the cops and pretend that I did something to her, I'm going to fucking jail. You have no idea how many men that I have been there for a situation where they were being abused by a woman and I was ready to call the fucking cops. With my roommate in chapel, there was at least 4 different occasions where I was going to call the cops on my roommate's ex. She would come over under the guise of dropping off the kids because she had things to do. She'd show up drunk as a fucking skunk and not leave him alone and start an argument and treat him like crap, throw things at him, hit him. Meanwhile, he's got the battered women syndrome. He thinks everything is his fault. It must be his fault because he did something wrong fucking 5 years ago. No, 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 no. She's doing shit wrong at that very moment, and he's just gonna take it. Say, well, I've screwed up too. I screwed up too. I screwed up too. No, dude. No, 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 no. Now, whether or not they're patched up or not, whether or not they're getting along or not, that's not my business. But when they're doing that stuff in front of me, it becomes my business. That is a very scary situation. Now, we got all this bias crap. Men are the ones who are doing all this. No, they're not. Every woman I know has a story about how she got out of a fucking ticket by crying. That does not work for a dude. That's sexism. Those are bias motivated crimes. You want to play for sympathy, and you know that you can manipulate people because you have a vagina. You know that you can treat a man like crap because you have a vagina. That's not okay. The difference between Carissa whining about not getting her vagina stuffed, about her emotional attachment to this guy, that's the thing. She is stuck on this dude who don't want nothing to do with her anymore. All right? She's stuck on him. Me, I was never stuck on Natalie. I was never stuck on Alicia. I was never stuck on Maddie. I'm fucking pissed off that police literally went out of their way to lie, cheat, steal, and omit information and evidence to try to protect my fucking predators. Meanwhile, just because they have vaginas, you make it okay. You pretend that it was because I wasn't getting to stuff that vagina myself. No, 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 no. Now you're just being a fucking jackass. Happy goddamn Christmas.